A dark and open secret.
I will not hesitate to use the military and the police to go after drug lords.
Lurking behind the facade of the widely celebrated president of the Philippines.
Hitler massacred 3 million Jews. There is 3 million drug addicts. I'd be happy to slaughter them.
Rodrigo Duterte calling on the police and ordinary citizens to kill drug dealers and users on sight.
Do it yourself if you have begun. You have my support.
A hugely controversial approach to keeping order that has turned him into a kind of rock star here. Rising on a wave of populist discontent, he's been called the Donald Trump of the East. But 5 months after he took office, the streets awash with blood. We captured a snapshot into the brutality of a single Monday night in Manila, the capital of the Philippines, and these images are graphic. The city is reeling from thousands of murders like this one, captured on closed-circuit television. Whether the nation's president is responsible for each is unclear. What is clear, through the lens of photojournalist Rafi Lerma, is that the vast majority are connected to the drug world here.
Sometimes it's just a dead body for me. Sometimes you get affected, especially if there's family.
He's what's known as a night crawler, documenting for the Philippine Daily Inquirer the killings that come to light after darkness falls.
There's one victim on the street. There's another one in the back of this bus.
It doesn't take long before Rafi's phone alerts us to the discovery of more bodies.
It's worse than death penalty. They don't have due process.
We just got here. It's kind of hard to tell from the light right now, but there's a dead body and there's blood that's dripping down the street.
At the moment, he's just a nameless victim. One of the more than 5,800 people who have been killed by police, by vigilantes, and others caught up in the war on drugs. In the crowd, a worried mother.
What she knows is that her son was taken her son.
There's a picture of it. Is that your son?
Soon, an image on a reporter's camera confirms the terrible truth.
Oh no, that's your son.
Alicia Derdere says her 23-year-old son, JR, had stopped taking drugs and never dealt them, but was picked up earlier in the day by masked men. Shortly after, the police sent out an announcement that they killed him.
And he shot out with police, prompting police to fire back.
By the end of the evening, we would witness the fresh aftermath of 7 killings.
The last 2 that we've seen have the plastic tape wrapped around their faces, which usually means that they were executed, wrapped up, taken to another place.
Under half of the 19 bodies the police say they recovered that night alone.
If the criminals there are killed by the thousands, that's not my problem.
Duterte, while disavowing any specific involvement with the chronic killings, remains unapologetic for what is happening in this recent Al Jazeera interview.
You destroy my country, I'll kill you. And it's a legitimate thing. If you destroy our young children, I will kill you. That is a very correct statement.
And his approval ratings remain sky high.
It is shocking for me that it somehow remains unchallenged by a larger part of our people.
Risa Hontiveros is a vocal opponent of Duterte's war on drugs, a senator willing to take personal risk to criticize his use of the Philippine National Police, known as the PNP.
The PNP is at the forefront of this war on drugs. They're the spear point of the president's war on drugs.
This is the hub, the Philippines.
John Neary, editor-in-chief of Inquirer.net, the country's largest newspaper site, says he sees the dangerous potential of Duterte's words.
The president has been very articulate. He said, if you do your job and you do it legitimately, whatever happens to you, I will support you. Some of the policemen receive this as a signal. You know, we can do what we want.
We follow the rule of law.
The police vehemently deny being used as executioners.
There have been deaths of suspects during police operations. Why? Because they have placed the lives of our police officers in danger. The police have no recourse but to defend themselves.
In fact, police allege that there are even more killings exacted by common criminals and apparent vigilantes, assassins whose motives remain murky.
There are cases of what they call now the cardboard justice, wherein the victim was placed on the street with a cardboard saying, I'm a pusher, I'm a drug addict, but these are cases that are still under investigation.
So we set out to find one of these shadowy figures who are willing to commit murder. We're going to go do an interview with a vigilante who apparently has a team of about 16 people that have been carrying out these assassinations. And we understand he's going to put a mask on his face so he will not be identified after the interview is over.
If the order is kill that person, we do it.
This man, a self-described vigilante who calls himself Johnny, gave us a glimpse into what he says are the mechanics behind many of the killings. Can you show me how you do it? Like, how do you show me physically how you kill somebody?
I know what time you'll pass by my place. I'll wait for you on this day. For example, you'll pass by, I will chase and gun him down.
When you kill somebody like that, what does it feel like?
Nothing. I want to kill him. He's a bad person. No remorse in killing bad people. If you kill addicts, it's helping the nation. That's the president's campaign.
Duterte's rise to power began here in this city called Davao, nearly 30 years ago when he became mayor.
So this place is called Jack's Ridge, but now it's being named Duterte City.
He's a good president.
Reverence to their leader has seeped into every aspect of daily life here. His name and images ubiquitous across souvenir stores, on t-shirts, magnets, and even on the fruit itself. Do you like Duterte?
Yes.
Do you like his fruit?
Yeah.
The once crime-ridden city of Davao is now considered the safest in the Philippines. Critics say that's because this is where Duterte first began legitimizing extrajudicial killings.
Our job was to kill drug pushers.
Edgar Matabato says he spent 25 years as part of the long-rumored Davao Death Squad, a band of volunteers who, he says, worked closely with the police to clean up that city.
I thought we'd be helping the good Filipinos, that we were only killing bad people.
We met Matabato after being led on a circuitous journey. Matabato points a clear finger when asked about the chain of command.
Was the President Duterte, involved in these kinds of killings? Did he give an order?
Yes, our job was to kill the bad people he ordered us to. Personally, I've killed almost 50.
Matabato, that's his city ID card, signed, he says, by Duterte himself, surrendered to authorities in October.
Duterte then ordered us to massacre the mosques of the Muslims.
Has testified before a Senate committee probing the spike in killings allegedly linked to the war on drugs and is now awaiting trial.
Do you feel like your life is in danger right now?
Yes, up to now, I know that they will kill me.
Duterte has denied knowing Matabato, but in a speech late Monday seemed to admit that he had taken personal part in at least the search for drug suspects back when he was mayor.
In Davao, I used to do it personally, just to show to the guys that if I can do it, why can't you? And I go around Davao with a motorcycle, with a big bike, and I would just patrol the streets and looking for trouble also. Tagla naghanap ako ng inkwento para makapatay.
Back in the capital, we are with the police as they begin rounding up hundreds in a display of force.
So the SWAT team and the police are now heading into a big square where they're going to start to interview the locals to see who might be drug dealers, might be drug users.
Women and children are separated from the men. Police say it's an opportunity for drug users and dealers to surrender, come clean, and avoid being hunted down. Instead, the drug suspects end up here, the Quezon City Jail, where the effects of the drug campaign are unmistakable.
Oh my God, it's jammed. Look at this.
The ideal capacity of this facility should be 800 inmates only.
Okay.
But right now we have 3,319.
Inmates pile on top of each other, waiting for their day in court, which can take years. Not surprisingly, many say they are in fear for their lives.
What's your recommendation to those that are drug dealers?
My advice to them, if they're still into it, stop it. For sure, President Duterte's administration will not stop hunting them.
And some fear it is a hunt that can reach over the prison walls, like what is believed to have happened to local Mayor Rolando Espinosa, who Duterte had accused of being a drug kingpin.
He actually had surrendered. In fact, he was in jail. And yet, at 4 in the morning, he was served a search warrant and was supposed to have engaged in a firefight.
Police say the mayor pulled out a gun, forcing them to kill him.
How could he even have a gun? He was already in jail.
Rolando Espinosa.
We went to a police press conference about the killing of the mayor and another politician gunned down by the police.
Here in the Philippines, there were 2 killings of politicians within a week by police. Is that because of the campaign?
During the time of the search, there was resistance, and especially if the life of the officers are threatened, then normally they can defend themselves.
But the resistance was what? What happened that led to the confrontation and then the killing?
The police rep refuses to go further.
We are still waiting for the details of the investigation.
But federal investigators would later determine that the imprisoned mayor was assassinated by the police. Last week, President Duterte says President-elect Trump told him in a phone call,
You're doing great. I know what's you worry about these Americans criticizing you. You're doing good. Go ahead.
In an email to ABC News, the Trump transition team acknowledged receiving a congratulatory call from Duterte, but said that, quote, there wasn't enough time on that courtesy call to talk about the details of policies. For now, law and order wears a pained face as another mother must bid farewell to her son without understanding why.
There's no justice when they killed him. I want to give him a proper funeral.
My prayers are with you. Okay?
For Nightline, I'm Bob Woodruff in Manila.